Hi, welcome to this channel and thank you for tuning into this video. My name is Carmen and my YouTube channel serves to document my journey to building my brand, as well as providing business insights, lookbooks, behind the scenes footage, and just everything that I've learned so far building my swimwear brand. Please like, comment, subscribe. If there's anything in particular that you want to see from me, or if you have any questions about my business, leave a comment. Today I will be reviewing my samples, my first samples from my swimwear brand. This day is like a long time coming. It isn't until recently that I got my first like official set of samples back. I'm going to be comparing the samples from my first lookbook and the samples that I'm going to be doing for production. So when I actually sell my first collection. And on top of that, I'm also going to be providing tips that I've learned in bringing my design idea to life. So from sketchbook to physical product in hand. My first tip would be to be very detailed when creating patterns and tech packs for the sample producer or manufacturer. When I first started creating patterns and tech packs for my first round of samples, I really there's so much that goes into like that one product that I just didn't think about. Like I didn't think about whether, because again, I'm building a swimwear brand. So I didn't think about like, oh, how long the bikini strings needed to be. I didn't think about like the stitching really to be. I didn't really think about how the lining would look against the main fabric. So there's a lot that comes to play, even like for like a small amount of fabric, like a bikini top or a bikini bottom, but it all is all very important. So once I got my samples back, my first round of samples, that's when I was like, okay, so for my next samples, like I know what I need to specify to the pattern maker and to specify to the manufacturer so that there won't be any issues, any miscommunication. So if anything, my first tip is to really just over communicate and to be very, very detail oriented on every single detail, even if it seems like really small, like down to the inch. Like I want the bikini triangle to be like 3 by 5. I want, the lining to be, this very particular, blue color. Like it really is important to be detailed oriented. For example, with my own samples, I have the Devon set, which is my purple bikini. Right now, the bikini is just purple, but the style is supposed to be like a wraparound string around the torso. So, for example, these are my first set of samples for this look. So you see I have my brand, like my labels. I have my pink lining, which is what I wanted. But if you can't tell on the camera, like the strings are so long and way longer than I want it to be. Like maybe I'll insert a photo here, but when I did my lookbook, we had to literally wrap around the string around the model's body like multiple times when really I only wanted it to be wrapped around like 2 or 3 times. So again, like when creating your samples, make sure that you're being very detailed, providing the exact measurements, the exact inches that you want for your pieces. So for my second samples for my production of my actual product, I have, you see, shorter strings, if you can see on YouTube, shorter strings around the body. I provided exact measurements, and in my opinion, this is exactly how the product should look, and this looks way better. Still has the same pink lining. And then also another thing is that I didn't like the opening here, so I changed the opening to up front here. And for production, like I'm changing the size of the padding, but those are the details that that I realized that mattered once I actually underwent the process. So that's like for the first look for my Devon look. And even for the bottoms, like I wanted the cut, this is like my most recent samples, I wanted the cut to be like this, like exactly like this, but I didn't effectively communicate that in my first round of samples, so it came out like this, like not at all really what I wanted. Strings way too long for bikini bottoms. So again, like communication is key. And the same thing for my second set of bikinis, which is my Tate bikini, and which is this really pretty green color. I have like my strings way too long when this is supposed to be like a standard bikini cut. Like the strings aren't supposed to wrap around the torso. Same pink lining, so that's what I wanted. You know, I wasn't happy with the bra padding opening here, so I changed it up here for my second round. My bikini bottoms, like this is exactly actually what I wanted, but then I realized, you know, like I want the stitching to be folded in, so the stitching will look like this on all bikinis, period, which is what I wanted. I wanted it, the main fabric, to be folded over the lining. And for the Tate new samples that I have, it was more, this is again like the ideal version, like shorter bikini strings, as you can see, padding opening in the front or up at the top, same pink lining, stitching, main fabric stitching over the bikini lining. So those are for my bikinis. So I think bikinis are set for production, and that is like the ideal look that I want. Minus the tweaks, like the bra padding size, like that, you know, that is fixable, but the main issues are resolved. As far as my cover-ups, I have this really beautiful set called the Wren that you can see here, which this is from my first round. Honestly, came out extremely ideal. You can see my labels here. This is exactly how I wanted it to come out. The fabric is so soft and so beautiful. The only thing was that with the bottoms, again, and this is another thing I had to learn with patterns, with making sure you send the correct sizing, like make sure your sizing that you're sending to the pattern maker is correct, because I think, like, I don't know if this was a me thing or a them thing, to be honest, looking back, but these are way too big. Like these shorts are supposed to be extra small, and you can already tell that the fabric is very stretchy, and it looks very baggy. Even worn, it's a little baggy for like an extra small size. So, you know, next time around, I made sure, okay, sizing needs to be exactly this. I'm trying to, you know, the samples, all my samples are a size small, so making sure that that size is consistent for all pieces. Samples for my second round of samples, I have this, which is like more ideal. The fit is great. It's beautiful. The fabric is a little different, so I'm experimenting with the fabric. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep this fabric for future use, but we'll see how it does once I start selling. But this is ideal. Like this is exactly the cut, not too bulky. This piece actually is very unique because the Wren set can be used as like a cover up, or it could be like a lounge set, or it can be like an actual swim set. Like the fabric is supposed to be swimwear, and that is how it's marketed, and that's like the functionality of it. So yes, we'll see how that goes, but lovely set. Super excited to wear that on the beach and just hanging out. What I like about my swimwear is that it is very wearable, and my emphasis is on the ability to wear it from beach or pool to out and about to casual hanging out. Like, I want my pieces to be wearable. I want them to be versatile, and I want people to be able to layer and mix and match with pieces from their own closet as well as pieces from the collection. So, you know, that is very important to me, very important to my brand ethos and how I want consumers to feel, how I want people to feel, because that's how I feel when I wear my pieces. Next piece I have is the Kimber mesh top. And again, this serves as a cover up, but also can easily be worn as a top. Easily can be worn if you are, you know, just need to throw something on if you're on vacation and you're coming from the beach and you want to kind of dress up a bit because you're about to go out to eat, about to go shopping. Like, this is the idea. You can wear a bikini top underneath, or like a bandeau or something, and that, or even like a tank top, and that is supposed to be the purpose of the top. You can layer it, you can wear jewelry to make it even more funky. Like, I'm super excited for this top. So, feedback about the sample itself. So the sample came out great. This is exactly the fabric that I wanted. The fit looks great. The only thing is that there's supposed to be like a draping piece in front, and I'll insert like an actual picture from my lookbook for the top that we used for the lookbook. That's supposed to be how the top looks, except different color, essentially. But it's supposed to look exactly like that. Yeah. So this is, it doesn't have that. This sample doesn't have that. But for production, that is the idea, that they're going to like include the draping and make sure that's included. But again, like, wonderful top. It looks great on. This is my first sample of the top. The other top was like, another top was just like a top that we got at a store. But yes, sample for the most part came out great. Last but not least, we have the Mina mesh dress. And it looks like this is supposed to be a low neck scoop mini dress that has like a flowy skirt bottom. The top is supposed to showcase like a top that you're wearing. So ideally like a bikini top, but you know, you can get creative. You can add a tank top, you can add like a crop top, whatever. And the low neck serves that purpose. So I have my second sample of it and I have my first sample. My first sample came out, again, like, honestly, really perfect. I would say more than like my bikinis. My bikinis had a lot of tweaking to do, but this basically came out exactly how I wanted to fit. And I'm going to insert an image, like a video of me wearing it, because it's just like chef's kiss. Like, it looks beautiful on. And again, like, I have my brand label. Yeah. The mesh is really sturdy. It's really soft. It feels good in hand. All things are really important to me. Again, like, this dress is like the perfect example of like beach to like going out. Like, this can be a cover up, like a really, really nice cover up for like the beach when you're actually on the beach or at the pool. But it can also be like, easily, you can throw heels on, you can throw like some nice jewelry, like, you can slick your hair up, like, and it'd be like a cute look for like dinner, for going out. I love that. And that's the purpose of it. So that's like the general review of my collection, of my first round of samples and my second round of samples. Overall, like, my main takeaways are: be very detailed oriented and over communicate when communicating with the manufacturer, when communicating with the pattern maker. My second one would be like more mindset tips. And the first one being that your idea that you have in your sketchbook, in your head, can look way different once the sample comes out, even if like it is communicated exactly how you wanted and like you were very detail oriented. Like, there are some pieces that in my head or in my sketchbook or in my mood board, looked, you know, beautiful, great. But then once I actually got it in hand, I was like, like I'm going to scrap that idea. And that's like very common. Like there's so many pieces that I'm just not including, at least in this first like round of selling, that you know I really liked and I thought were like super cute and unique. So just keep that in mind, that your sketch that you were really excited about, you might not even use, because once you got the samples back, you're like, actually, like I'm not sure if this is as wearable or as, you know, as cute or as cohesive to the rest of the collection that I thought it was. You know, sometimes we just can't reinvent the wheel. Like I will have this really unique idea, or what I think is unique, like a swimsuit silhouette that I am really excited about. But then once like I try to communicate that to the pattern maker, it's like, you know, this is not really possible. It's not feasible, or like I don't have enough information, or I can't provide them a reference photo that communicates the idea properly enough. Like, so sometimes, especially when starting out, it's good just to start off with like simple silhouettes, like simple ideas, like that you've seen someone else do, and just repurpose it a little bit for your own brand. I think that lessens some of the frustration of having your idea that you have in your sketchbook, in your mind, and your mood board, and it not being fully idealized in physical form. And lastly, your samples will not come out perfect. Like you will probably have to like redo samples, especially if you're starting out. But as you get like better, and as you continue in your business and you keep producing collections, like, you know, obviously like you'll get better with time. And that's like my goal. Like obviously like I want to get better with time, and like some parts of this will be easier the more I do it and the more experience I have. But like I just had to come to terms with like, okay, like these samples, you know, like I did the best that I could. Like, you know, imperfect progress is better than like being stagnant and not trying. So it's just like, if your samples all came out not ideal, because that's how I felt when my first round samples. Like now looking back, I'm like, oh, you know, I was able to tweak this and that. But when I first got them back right before my lookbook and my photo shoot, I was like, no, like I was so disappointed. But it's normal. And that doesn't mean that you aren't doing a good job. It doesn't mean that you suck, that you can't have like a great future or a great business. It's just that, you know, sometimes you're not communicating something, or sometimes the manufacturer or the sample maker makes a mistake, or sometimes both. Like it's been all of the above in my experience so far, where I've made a mistake, they've made a mistake. So the most important thing is to just learn from your samples, to learn from the first round, whatever, and to just produce better and to do better next time. That's definitely like a tip that I'm actively like practicing as I share, because just finalized my production, and I just became like somewhat satisfied with how my samples turned out, and it took like a minute. So those are my tips. Those are my samples. So I'm glad that I could show you guys a sneak peek on like actually what I'm working on. And I'm so excited to launch. Thank you again for tuning in this video, and bye. See you in the next one.